guys, and welcome to Trucking Along with Kiersey. That's me, your positive voice in trucking. And this is part 3 of my 4-part series on Prime Promotes Women. A lot of what I'm going to say in this video doesn't necessarily pertain to women exclusively. However, I think that if women understood the way Prime did things, that they would feel a lot more comfortable coming into training. This video is really about not only safety, driver safety, equipment safety, but also your personal safety. They really stress safety on all levels. So the easiest, I'll just knock it out of the way, they want us safe with our equipment. They don't give you hassles when you say that something needs to get fixed. I don't have to go drive thousands of miles to make sure that something gets fixed. I don't have to have an argument to make sure that something gets fixed. And that's something that's really important to me. I think that would be really important for women to know. Here's an example. I was in Pennsylvania and I knew that there was something wrong with my cruise control. I knew I had an air leak. It wasn't a major severe type of thing that I, would say that I would fail an inspection, but it was enough that I knew I shouldn't have had it. And because of our automatic transmissions, they're powered by the air. The air allows the transmissions to shift. It was interfering with my cruise control. It also gave me some codes that I was unfamiliar with that I had never seen before. I've had the truck for a year. It's a 2020 International, and people think, oh, well, if you get a brand new truck, it's not going to have any issues, and that's not true. And a lot of times there's recall issues. So, I said to my fleet manager, we're 150 miles away from this one international dealership. But I honestly don't like them. Every time I go there, they make me wait for parts. I'm there for like days to a week at a time. I've been there with another truck that I had. So I just really didn't want to go there. And I told them I'm pretty confident that I can make it to Springfield, to Missouri, and go to our dealership that worked really well with Prime there. I didn't get, no, you're not going. I got, okay, thanks. Be safe. That's what I expect, and that's what I want, and that's what I got. Okay, when I got closer to our terminal, which is located next to the international dealer, I wound up messaging our ROTWKI people and told them I need a reference number because I need to put this truck in the shop, and this is what I'm putting it in for. And he asked me, what's your ETA? And I told him, and he said, 10-4, thanks, here's your reference number. That's awesome. No arguing, no, what do you mean? No, you need to take this next load, nothing like that. When we get into our terminal, we have this awesome inbound where Eric, hi Eric, and Dom and Jazz, they make sure that our trucks and our trailers are all safe, and they change tires and they check the reefers to make sure that the reefers are running properly. They do all kinds of brake inspections and airbag inspections, and they inspect everything, the lights and everything. And sometimes if they're slow, they'll inspect our trucks as well, not just the trailers. I've been in there and they've actually had the tires changed and the brakes changed and everything right while I'm sitting there for 20 minutes in the inbound gate. It's just amazing. So thank you, Eric and Dom and Jazz. And and going out, we have Riley and Rusty that seem to be there most of the time when I leave. And these two guys are the ones that usually fuel us, just do a final inspection on our trailers. We can buy load locks from them or anti-gel and get certain supplies. So these guys, and chains, we buy chains from our outbound guys. So, I don't think that some of those guys get enough appreciation because they're out there in the heat in 100-degree weather. They're climbing under these hot trailers, and then, in the wintertime, they're doing this, and it's really, really a good feeling as a woman to know that I'm not talked down to, that if I say to my fleet manager, my road assist, or even my inbound technician, I can say, hey, I think this is wrong. Can you check this out? And nobody looks down at you as a woman. And you're not going to get questioned about safety issues. And you can ask dumb questions and not be made to feel dumb. We also have a lot of safety features on the truck, and a lot of people don't like them because they feel like, okay, they're being monitored. But you have to keep in mind, we are a training company. And for those reasons, some things that we have on the truck are made for training situations.
In the safety department, we use technology to assess risk. When we assess that risk, we're able to identify any challenges that a driver may have while on the road. And where some companies may use those challenges to ship a driver out of the door, we're complete 180. We want to use those challenges and take that information that we assess from the technology to help our drivers become better. We want to educate them out of whatever challenges that they have, so this can be their last trucking job. In doing so, we help our company grow.
It'll teach you a safe following distance. It'll teach you when you should be applying the brakes properly. There are gadgets on our trucks that will help us scale the loads and properly distribute the weight between the trailer and the drives. There's also a Duran tire pressure monitoring system. So when you turn on your truck, you can actually hit this button that will scroll along, and it will tell you the PSI on each of your tractor tires. And it tells you which one it is. So you know immediately if your tire is losing air. There are so many safety features. We even have an emergency button on our dash. It's a panic button. So if you feel as though you're in danger, you can hit this and it goes to dispatch and it goes to the security department. And if, they will call 911, they will have somebody out to you if you feel like your life is in danger. So be aware that the equipment itself is top notch. It really is. Prime in Springfield has really good relationships with the dealerships here too. So not only do we have 24-hour mechanics and tire technicians and APU specialists and also detail shops, but we also have really good relationships with the dealerships near our terminals. That really makes a difference because we get put at the top of the list. They're going to make sure that our truck is safe because they want Prime to buy another 500, 800, 1,000 trucks. That's just the way these things work out here. Now, when it comes to personal safety, we have an amazing phone app that we can message so many different departments, including dispatch, road assist, our logs department, security, and safety. So one of the things that people are really afraid of, especially women, is the creepy trainer. You're afraid you're going to get stuck on a truck with somebody who's a nut and, they're going to be sexually aggressive or just intimidating. And how do you communicate that with Prime? Well, through your phone app is the easiest thing. And if you message, now the cool thing about the phone app is that your trainer cannot see what you're writing. The trainer can see the responses from dispatch or the other departments that respond back to you. You can see the responses coming from dispatch going to your trainer. So you only see one side of a conversation, they only see one side of a conversation. That's the way it works. But if you message security or safety or dispatch and told them, I need help, I don't feel safe on this truck, they are all trained to ask you yes and no questions. That is a huge deal. That is really, really important. You know, they will call you up and say, do you physically feel threatened? Yes or no. Do you need to get off this truck? Yes or no. You know, have you been touched and assaulted? Yes or no. So if you bring it to their attention, things get worked out. But it's not just male on female that can be an issue. Sometimes a woman can be intimidated, or a man could be intimidated by a woman even. You know, a woman can be intimidated by a woman. I recently had a TNT student that contacted me, and, you know, she called me up and said, I have an issue with the trainer. It only took a half hour. It took a half hour to get that student arranged to be on a different truck. And the impressive thing with that for me was the person called me up and said, I don't feel alone anymore. She said the fleet manager called me and said, I need you to understand that I am your fleet manager too. I'm not the trainer's fleet manager. I'm your fleet manager too. And I want you safe and I want you comfortable, and I need you to contact me if you have issues. So I am so glad that you reached out to somebody. And the cool thing about this was nobody came back to me and complained to me about stepping on anybody's toes. Nobody said to me, who do you think you are interfering? As a matter of fact, I got thanked. I got thanked for trying to make sure that somebody was safe and that didn't feel pressured and intimidated and scared. And that's how it's dealt with at Prime. So even with this whole virus situation going on, the drivers are still number one in Prime's mind. You know, some of the drivers here are thinking that it's a little bit of a hassle coming into the terminals because when you get here, security meets you at your truck, they take your temperature, they ask you a bunch of questions, and, you know, it's to try to figure out who may be at risk. And there are some people that are quarantined in the terminal, and they're quarantined in a section of the terminal. They have access to showers and laundry and bathrooms, but, you know, Prime made sure that people got tested. I personally think that they're doing everything that they possibly can think of. When they couldn't get a hold of hand sanitizers, Prime hooked up with Coca-Cola and I think it was Casey's Distillery, and they have hand sanitizer bottles that they're giving out to us now. This is a little bit different from the whole my creepy trainer thing, but it still goes back to show Prime's dedication to driver safety. It really does. And I said in my last video in part 2 that there is a female driver liaison who really does care. She does. I swear she does. And when you come in here to the terminal and you see, you know, how they're trying to protect us the best they can. And I will say this, I went to a customer that had too many of us in a little narrow corridor, and I wound up writing our safety department. And they were upset, and they said, we will take care of the situation where we are not going to have our drivers subjected to waiting an hour in a narrow hallway with a bunch of people that it's just too, you know, there was no room. So again, personal safety is really, really big at Prime. And there are so many people you can contact. You can contact your fleet manager. We have 24-hour dispatch, even on the weekends. We have 24-hour security department. I don't care who you tell at Prime. If you tell somebody at Prime that you are in danger, they are going to help you. So we just have so much access to so many different things that protect us. whether it be on the equipment or whether it be lifelines, basically. And in part 4, I'm going to talk about a lot of the education tools and the classes and the awareness campaigns that Prime does, even for both drivers and the community. It really makes me feel good to know that I work for a company that cares. It does. It cares about the drivers. I get laughed at on some of the comments sometimes where people will say, oh, you're full of crap and mega carriers aren't like that. And my response to them is, did you work here? Did you work here? And if you tell me no, then shut up, because I don't want to hear what you have to say. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what it's like to work for Knight or Swift or Schneider, because I've never worked there. So don't tell me what it's like to work for Prime. And if you are a woman who's considering coming to Prime, you know, personal safety is taken very seriously. And when it comes to driving safety, you know, I didn't discuss this, but it should go in here too. When it comes to me driving, if I say this truck is not safe, I'm not driving it, the truck is getting towed into a shop. End the discussion, and that's what would happen. If I say winter conditions are too bad, the rain is too bad, the wind is too bad, could be a 80-degree bright shining day, but if it's windy and I'm not feeling comfortable or safe, I'm parking it, and I will get 10-4 thanks, be safe. That's what I'm getting. And I don't, drivers almost have an upper hand in this, because if I ever had a situation where a dispatcher told me or tried to encourage me or push me, they all know that all we would have to do is walk into the terminal where our boss, the owner, is playing basketball and walking around the cafeteria. I said this in another video. I don't know where his office is. I don't need to know, because he's always there. You know, he's very approachable. You know, somebody said to me, oh, well, it's just because you're on YouTube. No, it's not because I'm in YouTube, because I've only been on YouTube for 8 months, and I've been here for almost 5 years, and I can tell you that you can walk up to this man and say, I have a problem. And he will get on the phone and he will make a call, and your problem will get fixed. You know, but you don't even have to go to him, because if you go up the chain of command, you know, it will get fixed. It'll get done. It's just the way it is. So if I said to somebody, I'm not driving in this weather, and they said to me, well, this customer really needs this load, my response very well could be, well, good, let's take a picture. I'll take a picture and we'll email it to Robert Lowe, and we'll see if he thinks I should be driving. Let's text him. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's call him up and wake him up. As nasty as that sounds, if I had to be pushed to that, which I never would be, I promise you I would never be, it wouldn't happen. But if I was pushed to that level, that dispatcher is going to back down. Seriously. They will back down. Our owner said, and I said this in my Why Prime video, Why Choose Prime, our owner flat out says in the weekly safety meetings, I own this company. These are my trucks. I trained you. I entrust you to drive the equipment and the freight. You make the decision. You are the captain of the ship. Nobody can make you do anything. Okay? Now, all I had to do was hear that from the boss, and that makes me feel comfortable. You know, and if you have a trainer that is telling you that you have to drive faster or drive through snow or drive through ice and you don't feel comfortable, you can tell the trainer the same thing. I'm not doing it. And then put it in the Qualcomm to the dispatch. I don't feel safe driving in this ice. My trainer tells me I have to. I'm not doing it. It's in writing. You are covered. Nobody is going to come after you. Matter of fact, they might go after the trainer for trying to push you into unsafe conditions. So that's how serious Prime is. when it comes to safety. I'm also going to post some video footage from our safety department. We normally have weekly meetings at the terminal, and we get to interact with the management, with the owner, with the safety department head and the sales department head. We normally get to do that and ask questions, and they comment, and it's a really great system. The coronavirus kind of put the kibosh on that. So now they're doing weekly videos on YouTube, which you can watch. So I'm going to put some clips on there so you can see how intent these people are when it comes to safety. So again, this doesn't pertain to women only, but it's something that I think that some women may be more concerned with than some men. You know, women, especially if they're going to be on a truck with a man, most likely that man's going to be stronger than that woman. So it's just intimidating to be on the truck, you know, with a man. Even if he's the nicest man in the world, he's most likely going to be stronger than her. So that in itself can be intimidating. And no, Prime is not going to force you onto a truck with a man. You get that choice. When you come in, you sign a paper saying, I will accept a man or I won't accept a man. You know, they're not going to force you onto a truck with a smoker. That's another issue that I get. You know, trainers can be limited at different times of the year. This is true. Sometimes it's easier to switch trainers sometimes than other times. You know, if you're a woman and you're waiting for a woman trainer, it may not be the easiest thing to do to get you another female trainer. If you come into training during the holidays, you might have to wait a little bit longer. In the end, things get worked out, but you have to bring it to the right person's attention. And I think a lot of people are afraid. They think they're going to be labeled as a troublemaker. So get past that. So in part 4, I'm going to discuss community contributions, some classes that we have, things that'll make women feel a little bit more at ease coming in. And again, these things are not women specific, but I think women would feel more comfortable understanding and knowing that that's what's going on here at Prime. So I want to thank you very much, and please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what it is that you are afraid of when it comes to trucking. And I hope to see you out here. Truck it along. Bye.